Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today's video is one that I am very excited about. I've only done one other recommendation video with this same topic, and I will have that link down below. But today's video is all about my favorite type of hero in romances, and that is an Alphamellow. So in my mind, an Alphamellow is a hero who is alpha and protective and takes care of his woman and knows when to like be alpha, do all the good alpha things that we like, but also is never hurtful, harmful, rude, mean. Like, he's so soft just for her. So this is basically a take on the I hate everyone but you, or only soft for the heroine. Like, just the best type of man who knows when to be an alpha, but in like just the right amount, you know? Like, I often liken this type of hero to cilantro. I like cilantro, but I don't want too much. Like, if there's too much cilantro, if there's too much alphaness, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I want him out of my romance novels. So these are some of the books that I have read recently or not even recently, that I have read since I did my last recommendation video that I think have excellent Alphamellow heroes. So I'm going to share them with you. So the first one I want to recommend is a historical romance, and it is The Devil of Downtown by Joanna Shupe. I love this hero. He is literally the epitome of an Alphamellow because he is 100% the kingpin of the city. Like, he is the kingpin of crime. He is extremely alpha, very powerful, runs the whole crime scene in New York. And then he meets this woman who calls herself a do-gooder, wants to make sure that women and children are taken care of that are being harmed by the men in their lives, and she comes to him seeking his help with a specific woman whose husband left her and her children, and she's destitute and poor. And initially, the hero, Jack, he doesn't really want to help her. He's sort of like, about it, not sure why it's his responsibility. But as he gets to know her, he slowly begins to soften and open up to her, and he just falls completely head over heels for her. Like, this man completely falls for this woman, and it's a thing of beauty. Like, is there anything better than the literal crime lord kingpin falling to his knees for this goody two-shoes? Like, I just don't think there's anything better than that. It's so good. Okay, so this next book is one of my favorite books I've read this year, and it's probably no surprise. I feel like I talk about this book in every video, and I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry because everyone needs to read it. And it is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. I love this hero. He is probably one of the best heroes I have ever read in fiction in my entire life. He is dominant. He knows how to protect and care for his woman and to meet all of her needs, and he does it gladly, like, ecstatically. But he also knows when to be dominant with her, and it's just like the best, the literal best. Literally Alphamellow hero to the extreme. This is a very emotional romance. It is very swoony. It is pretty long, but it's 100% worth it. I love this book so much. Dom is the hero, and he ended up meeting our heroine Sloane when they were in college one night, and they felt like this big soul-level connection, and then things in life happen where she actually ends up marrying his best friend. The best friend dies, and then she is left as a widow, and in comes Dom after some time to try and win her heart. And it's literally like, you want to talk about a hero who worships the heroine, like, just, I have yet to read a hero that is better than Dom. Like, he is an 11 out of 10. You must read this book. Okay, the next book that I read is actually a recent read, and let me just tell you, sometimes I read a book, and there are parts of it that maybe aren't perfect for me. I mean, I feel like this is a pretty often thing that happens in fiction. There are certain aspects of books that maybe don't work for me perfectly, but there's something in there that wins me over, and a lot of the time, that can be the hero. If the hero is like a 10 out of 10 hero, I can forgive a lot. I can forgive a lot in fiction for that, and that is exactly what happened in When Heroes Fall by Gianna Darling. You just, if you don't think you like Gianna Darling, or if you don't think that you like mafia romances, this is a pretty light mafia romance, but you want to read about a great Alphamellow hero, this book. This man literally is the sunshine character in this book, and he falls gradually but hard for Elena, and he's protective, and he is caring, and he is just a wonderful hero. And yeah, the basic premise of this is she's a lawyer, He's a criminal, obviously, and she's going to try and get him off of this crime, and a lot of plot things happen, and they fall in love in the process, and truly the best thing about this book is the hero and heroine, but very specifically the hero because he's an excellent Alphamellow hero, and I loved it. I loved it. Okay, the next book is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Now, I feel like Flawless would also be like this. Actually, I've so far read 3 books by Elsie Silver, and I feel like all of them have Alphamellow heroes, which makes me very happy because that leads me to believe that Elsie Silver is a writer that will always work for me because she does heroes the way that I love them, where they're grumpy and alpha, but they're also equally soft and tender with the heroine. Like, she doesn't push the grumpy alpha too much for my taste. It's just enough there to give it a little bit of savory cilantro vibe, you know? This hero, he's so fantastic. So this is a single dad romance. He's a cowboy. He works on a ranch. You've probably heard of this book. It's just taking book 2 by storm. Shouts out to Cheyenne for bringing this to my attention for sure. And I absolutely just adored this hero. The heroine is the nanny. She's younger than him. There's an age gap. She comes in to work for him, and he is grumpy with her. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her because he's having so many like feelings for her, not just physical but other ways, and it's just and then when they finally get together, like he is that perfect blend of alpha and mellow. Like, he's just so gone for her, just completely gone for her. Like, all of these heroes are completely head over heels for the heroine, and she is his weakness. She is the one who brings him to his knees. Like, just the best thing ever, the literal best thing ever. I can't even get over it. It's fabulous. Okay, so this is a series that I read a while ago, but I don't think I've ever recommended it specifically as an Alphamellow romance, and I think that it is. So it is a duology. You do need to read both books to get this couple's full story, and I feel like the Alphamellowness is extremely obvious in this book. It's just so good. This is a contemporary romance about Lennox and Maxim, and she is a Native American woman who is trying to stop like oil drilling on her family's sacred land, and he is the son of this rich oil businessman, and so they end up meeting in that way. They have a big epic love story. There's time jumps. It spans many years. There's a moment in here where he is literally so protective. He's going to just like the person who might even threaten her, and it was just like just so good, like so good, especially the audio when the voice actor for this is like, and you can hear him like calling out her name, and I'm just like, I'm losing it. It's just so good. Like, he's so alpha, so powerful, and just a complete pile of goo for her, and only her, only her. So this next book is also an excellent Alphamellow. Like, all of these heroes just get me so excited about how much they are just this strong, powerful man, dominant alpha, but then when their woman comes along, they're just like so soft and tender with her. And that's this book right here, Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This is actually my favorite book in the series, and it is because the hero is exactly like that. Like, he's another one who touch her and I'll unalive you. Literally one of the most protective heroes, very alpha, very powerful, keeps her safe, protected, like, The basic premise of this is she's a social media influencer, someone is stalking her, he's her landlord, they have a little bit of history in previous books in the series, and so they have a base of a friendship, like a very light friendship, and he finds out that she's being stalked, and he's like, hey, why don't you come and stay with me and I'll protect you. I love it. And so that's what happens, and they fall in love, and he's just so gone for her, but very slow to reveal that to her, but very protective, very powerful. All of those words that just describe an alpha in the best way, where he's also very caring and loving only for her. Love it. Okay, the next book is A Matter of Temptation. This is a historical romance by Stacey Reed. I love this book so freaking much, and I feel like I haven't talked about it a whole lot recently, but it's going to be for sure on a few of my best of the year lists, because I feel like, other than A Lady for a Duke, this is definitely my favorite historical romance that released this year. Stacey Reed just does swoony romance so well, and this book just had a great setup and just great execution. So the premise of this is the heroine's brother ends up in trouble where he's supposed to duel this very powerful man. And so she is an excellent fencer, and so she goes to actually duel him in his place because she's afraid that her brother will die. And the hero is just like so completely taken with her and realizes she's a woman and offers her a job as his secretary, which was unheard of at the time because women didn't take jobs like that. That was a men's job. And so they have this like boss employee dynamic, and this hero, he definitely is the type of hero that has trouble expressing emotions, but also is like extremely interested in her, and she brings out these emotions in him that he's never felt before, things that he wasn't aware of, things that like he recognizes are different, and that's how he realizes that he's falling in love with her. He's so protective of her. I just loved their dynamic. I loved this romance. It was fantastic, and I can't recommend it enough. Okay, so the last book that I have to recommend is Don't Hex and Drive by Juliet Cross. So this is book 2 in the Stay a Spell series. It's a paranormal romance. I love these books. They're comfort reads for me, but they're also so swoony and romantic. And this hero, Devraj, in here is just, I think he's one of my favorite heroes that Juliet has ever done. And she particularly does Alphamellow heroes really, really well, where this man is just absolutely worshiping the woman and falls to his knees for her and only her. And that's exactly here. The hero is a famous actor in, I think, like Dollywood. He's an Indian man. He's a very powerful vampire, and Isadora is a witch, and they end up having a romance. And this book is so fun, very, very steamy. And just like the way that this man literally worships her. And I just love it. I love this book so much, and I want you to read it. So, okay, there you have it. Those are the books that I want to recommend to you if you are looking for some of this type of hero where you love an alpha hero, but you don't want to read an alpha hole, you don't want to read a jerk, you don't want to read a mean hero. You want a man who is powerful and strong, wants to take care of his woman, but who also is very tender and loving with her. These books will hit the spot for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.